Greetings and greetings to all. Thank you for joining us again in this 5 spiritual quest. My name is Master Abdullah Ingom. Our last topic was the three mindsets: the positive, the negative, and the neutral mindset. However, during the editing process, large part of the positive mindset was accidentally deleted. So for that, this is going to be the continuation of the positive mindset, how one can set or reset for positive mindset, which can lead for one to activate the seven senses. Yes, the seven senses, which is the highest level of consciousness that a human being can attain. And we're going to go to the scriptures. We're going to go to the scriptures to decode some passages that reveal how one can walk the journey to achieve the seven senses, to activate the seven senses. So therefore, please stick with us to the end of this topic, so you will able to, we will do our best to elaborate them, to well elaborate it, so you will able to put the pieces together on your own. Because for positive mindset and to achieve the level, the seven level, this is a personal journey. No one can take you there and no one can do it for you. Therefore, stick with us. We're going to elaborate well, so you will able to put the pieces together on your own, which are the simple requirements that anyone can do. Anyone can do. So stick with us to the end of this journey and hope you will find it useful. To reset a positive mindset basically is self-realization, realization of one action. It's the same method of many people, what they call New Year resolution. Every year, many people make a list of what they want to achieve and what they want to give up. Maybe smoking, drinking, they want to do everything that they don't want in their lives. They make a list. And if you look at the list, that will be the perfect of them, the perfect of themselves. If everything in that list could be achieved, that would be their desire of who they want to be or what they want to achieve. So that's a perfect list for them. However, that usually never come to reality. As you can see, many, they start at the end of the year, they start strong with it. It probably will last, some of them will last them 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or months, and that list become history. And next year, they're going to repeat the same pattern. But it's the same method. Instead of you do it every year, this has to be done every day. At the end of the day, you have to review everything that went down during the day. Now, before you go to bed, that's where you're going to make your new day resolution. How you want your day to be tomorrow, how you want your life to be tomorrow. And focus on that perfect day, that perfect you tomorrow. And see yourself to do better tomorrow than yesterday, to be a better person tomorrow than yesterday. Keep up that pattern, and that pattern become routine, become part of your life. Just then you'll be aware. You will be aware of your doing. Every day is a New Year resolution. See life as improvement. Focus on improvement. You can never fully correct yourself to perfection. So work on, don't focus what is not right about you, what you can do. Focus on what you can, what is right about you. Focus on your good qualities and build those good qualities, nurture those good qualities. Even if it's one can lead to two can lead to three. when you focus on what is right about you and what the things you could add, you'll be amazed. That's where usually you find out you're more than what you think of. You are capable way, way beyond what the negative mind probably would tell you. Focus on improvement, improving oneself. That's where the journey starts. It's a personal journey. And those who understand this logic, these are, the more they are familiar with the practice, the more they see themselves, how capable they are. That's where their confidence builds up to a point they will see themselves with or without any. They will able to make it, get it, or become. Because their confidence will set them free. And if you join them, these are the people who will express their most sincere gratitude. However, they don't sit down and wait for anybody. Because they see themselves capable of walking the journey on their own. Because they understand it's a personal journey. No one can make you great. The greatness lies within you already. Anyone can do is to guide you to tap into it. Anyone who tells you they can make you great, walk away from them. Because they want you to need them. Anyone who understands how this works, they know the greatness is already in you. No one can put any great thing in you that God has not put there yet. It's already is within all of us. Only thing anyone can do for you to guide you to tap into it and to bring it out for all to see. It's a personal journey. No one can take you there. No one can do it for you. It's like you go to the gym working out. You have to do the work. You can have a personal trainer, but you have to do the work. If the personal trainer doing the work and you're sitting there watching, or the personal trainer cannot do the work for you, you have to do the work. He can guide you, but the work is yours. If you want to get in shape, you're the one who's going to do the work. No one can do it for you. That's why it's a personal journey. It's the same metaphor. Enlightenment is a personal journey. Positive mindset is a personal journey. No one can make you or take you there. It's a personal journey. And that's the beginning journey to attain the 7th level of consciousness. Yes, there are 7 levels of consciousness. And positive mindset is the beginning journey to attain the 7th level of consciousness, meaning to activate the 7 senses. Yes, there are 7 senses. Seeing, smelling, touching, hearing, tasting. And the 6th sense is the sense of confirmation, knowing, sense of knowing. And the 7 senses is the sense of awareness. The 7 senses. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. The 6th sense is the sense that confirms, sense of the confirmation that confirms. The 6th sense is what confirms what you heard, what you saw, and what you smell, what you taste, and what you feel. The sense of confirmation, sense of knowing, make you know what you hear, what you see, what is the confirmation, the 6 senses. The 7 senses is above knowing, not just knowing, but be aware, the 7 senses. And we're going to go to the scriptures for the 7 senses to decode the true meaning. And as you can see, God created the earth, create creation in 6 days, and rest one day, the seventh day. We call it the Sabbath day. The day where God was aware of the beauty of His creation. The day of awareness is a realm of awareness, the sense of awareness, which is the highest level that one can attain, highest level of spiritual consciousness. It is the zone, is the realm in which, when it's activated, that's where one will be aware or will be in tune with the spiritual thread that runs through all lives. When the seven senses is activated, is where one will realize, will be aware of one connection with every single life. We could one of the same. One will be in tune with the thread that runs through all lives. That's the seven senses. When the seven senses is activated, one will not be able to harm any lives, because harming any life will be like one harming one own self. When the seven senses is activated, as Christ said in the scripture, be harmless as dove. That's what it means. You will be harmless as a dove. You will not be able to harm any life in this world when the seven senses is activated. And as the Quran says as well, when the seven senses is activated, that's the ultimate enlightenment. Is where you will understand. You will feel killing one person is like killing the whole humanity, because you will be in tune with the same thread, because there's one thread, spiritual, run through all lives. And we will we're going to go in the scriptures to decode the true meaning of the seven senses, which is the highest level of any human being can attain. In some tradition, they said that you become God. Yes, you're not going to become, you will never become God, but with the seven senses is the realm in which God and angels dwell, because all lives are connected from God and to God. You're not going to be a God, but you're going to be connected. You're going to be in tune with God. It's the realm that evil cannot dwell. The seven senses, the highest level of consciousness that any human being can attain. And we're going to go through that, and we're going to decode it, and which is a level that's attainable by all. The seven senses of consciousness is something that attainable by all. Because the requirement that can lead one to activate the seven senses is something that we are all capable of. And we're going to go in the scriptures to decode some passages that will guide you to do just that. So stick with us to the end of the journey, to the end of the topic, so you will be able to put the pieces together. We're going to elaborate it so you will be able to put the pieces together on your own. Because this is a personal journey. No one can get you there and no one can do it for you. It's a personal journey. Anyone who can tell you they can give you enlightenment, you have been deceived. It's not possible. It's a personal journey. No one can do it for you. No one can lay hand on you to enlighten you. The greatness lie within you. God have made you great. All you need is already within you. All you need to be great is already within you. No one can make you great. One can guide you to be great. What can motivate you, inspire you to be great? But the greatness is within you. God put it there. Only thing one can do is to guide you, motivate you, nurture you, to bring it out for all to see. It's like the metaphor. Well, if you're hungry, you have to eat. Someone else will not eat for you. If someone's going to eat for you while you're hungry, you're going to die from starvation. It's the same metaphor. All this religion, no religion can enlighten you. No prophet, even prophet, they cannot enlighten you. We're going to go to the scriptures to decode some passages that reveal how one can attain the seven senses, the seven level of consciousness, to activate the seven senses, the sense of awareness. So let's go to, from the very beginning, Genesis. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis 1. Then we're going to probably go to the Quran as well. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it from my notebook, because the small print, I'm having trouble reading the small print, and I'm kind of stubborn getting some glasses. So I'm going to read it from my notebook. Let's go Genesis. Let's go to Genesis 1. Let's go to Genesis 1:24. And here I read. And God said, let the earth bring forward living creatures of every kind, cattle and creeping things, and wild animals of the earth, and every kind. And it was so. God made wild animals of the earth of every kind, and the cattle of every kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground of every kind. And God saw it was good. Then God said, let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and the bird, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over everything that creeps upon the earth. So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the bird of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And God said, see, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creep on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given I have given everything green plant for food. And it was so. God saw everything that he made was indeed very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. So this is the sixth day of creation. So we're going to decode these passages of the scripture. And what we're going to do, we're going to decode these passages. We're going to pick three words. Three words to decode these passages. The first word, subdued. We're going to take subdued, dominion, and food. We're going to take these three words in order to decode this. Let's take the word subdue. Okay, let me read. And he said, so God created humankind in his image. And in the image of God, he created them, male and female. God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it. Subdue it. Let's go to the word. Let's go to the word subdue it, the meaning of subdue it. Let's go to the dictionary. Let's go to the dictionary to see subdue it, the meaning of subdue it. Okay, subdue it. Subdue. To conquer or to bring under subjection. Okay? To bring under control. Or to bring land under cultivation. To bring land under cultivation. Subdue. And in this senses, subdue mean to bring land under cultivation. Because he said, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, to fill the earth and cultivate the earth. Subdue, to cultivate the earth. God said, bless them and be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, cultivate the earth. Not own the earth. There's no ownership here. It's cultivate the earth. God did not give the earth to anybody. God did not say to own it, or fight it about it, or argue about it. He said to cultivate it. God said cultivate the earth, not own the earth. But humankind is forever fighting, destroying each other over the earth, over the land they did not own, as well as vast enough for all. Nobody owned the earth but God. He said cultivate the earth, not fight over it. Let's continue. The second word, dominion. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it. And dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Dominion. So let's go to the word dominion. So let's go to the word dominion. Let's go to the dictionary, the definition. Dominion. The power to rule, control of a country, government rule, a supreme authority, authority that above all. It's government. Government have authority over the people. Government do not own the people. Government set rules and regulations for the people. Government do not own the people. Government have dominion over the people. He set the rules, he rules the people, but not own the people. We have rules in our household. We set rule for our children. We don't own our children. We set rule to guide them. We don't eat our children. But this is misinterpreted. God gave human, all the creatures, to own them, so they can eat them. There's no ownership here. He didn't say nothing but eat to eat. There's no eating here. He said, I give you. Let's continue. Let's take into dominion, then we'll go back to dominion. The government has power over the people. He set the rule for the people. He guided the people. God gave humankind dominion over the creatures of the world, to guide them, nurture them, as government put rule to nurture them. Don't pollute the water they inhabited. God did not say, here, human, you own all the creatures of the world, so you can eat them, you can do whatever you wish with them. It's not what it says here. That's not scripture. If you know how to decode the scripture. And let's move on to this third word, food. It said, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and dominion over the fish of the sea, the bird of the air, and everything that move upon the earth. And God said, see, I have given you every plant yielding seed, and is upon the face of the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. This is specific. He said, I've given you what to eat. God said, see, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is upon the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall eat them for food. You shall have them for food. Then let's continue. And every beast of the earth, and every bird of the air, and everything that creep on the earth, and everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. Let's go back. Human, God say, every plant yielding seed upon the earth, trees with seed and its fruit, you shall have that for food, for human. For the creatures, and for every beast of the earth, and for every bird of the air, and to everything that creep on the earth. And he said, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. Specific. Human, what to eat, and other creatures, what to eat. Green plant for the animal to eat. Human, fruit and vegetation, fruit and vegetables. That's what the scripture says here. There's nothing here flesh eating flesh. It's specific. What you mean to eat and what other creatures, the one in the air, the one that crawl, the beasts, all. He said, I give you green plant for food. This is a scripture. Genesis 1:24. This is the sixth day of creation. As you can see, this is the beginning. Genesis, the beginning of creation. God gave instruction what to eat. Nothing flesh eating flesh in the scripture. In the beginning, the Garden of Eden. All creatures coexisted, and no creature was a threat to another creature. Till evil come to their myth. Flesh eating flesh is not God's will, but the work of evil. Evil deceive human to disobey God's order, then put curse upon creatures of the world. The curse of greed that led creatures of the world to be predators. And human are the fiercest of them all. There's no creature in this earth that destroys his own kind and other creatures than human do. Flesh eating flesh is not God's will, but work of evil. He said here in the scripture. This is scripture. The God of this scripture did not recommend flesh eating flesh, because the God of this scripture did not create, the God of humankind did not create any life to harm anyone or be harmed by any, because that would violate his divinity. The land of the earth was not given to any. No one belonged to no one but God, who owns it. Only God. Said in the scripture, dwell on it, subdue it, cultivate it, not killing each other for it, as humans do. Take care of the creatures of the world. That's your responsibility. As government have responsibility over the people. Take care of the people, set rules, law, and regulation to take care of the people, because he's the high authority, he's the supreme authority. Human was given this task to have the supreme authority over creatures of the world, to look after them, not destroy their inhabitants and eating them. That is what is not recommended. Humankind have failed their purpose in this world. And when you activate the seven senses, the sense of awareness, just then you will be able to realize the truth within the scripture. You will understand that no life was created to be harmed, to harm or be harmed. All lives are precious. All life have a purpose. And God alone knows the purpose of them all. But only thing one need to know, that all lives have purpose for being. God did not say to eat any creatures of the earth. In the beginning, human and all creatures coexisted in the Garden of Eden, where no creature was a threat to another creature. The barbarism toward each other as humankind, and the cruelties toward our fellow creatures must come to a stop if it was not the curse of evil upon humankind. Many human stories will never be told. The story of warfare would never be told. The story of genocide will never be told. The story of the Holocaust will never be told. The story of slavery will never be told. The story of famine will never be told. The story of racism will never be told. The story of homelessness will never be told. The story of the cruelty, of human cruelty among themselves and toward other creatures of the world, these are stories that will never be told. So I think, therefore, we're going to leave here till next time. Again, as always, be well and God bless. Thank you for tuning in.